I want to show a mashup of Trump and Macron.
Does he still try to do that fucking cringe handshake poll? Why are we watching this? God, it feels 1984 in here. I can't tell he's trying to do this dumb poll thing.
Now, Brian, it's very...
Would you say the same? Someone you're debating on the right has retweeted a J6er bail fund. I think that the instigation for the riots on January 6th and the BLM things are different in kind. So I would already be in a different standard. But number two, supporting somebody on bail, I don't even know if I would comment on it or care. I'm not sure. Bail is different. It's just bail. All bail says is that after your arraignment, you can be out of jail before you have to go to court. That's all bail is. It's not forgiving somebody of charges. You don't automatically, it's not an escape jail from free card. It's not like that's all bail is.
Funny on one level, the way they arm wrestle for hours on end when they see each other. However, my point watching it, when I watched Trump go into Notre Dame, every eye was on him. He has superstar power. I saw it myself when he first got elected.
Oh, Mark Glazen.
In Davos, when all the world leaders were down there. The moment Trump came in, it was pandemonium. He is the biggest star on the world stage by a country mile. And there's something about America right now getting its swagger back, which I can tell you, in a country like mine, where it feels like the opposite is happening, a lot of people are like, you know what, whatever you think of Trump, whatever comes out of his mouth, all the usual stuff, I quite like the confidence that America now seems to be exuding. And I wish we had a bit of it here.
Well, Piers, I think if you look at what the rest of the world actually thinks about Donald Trump, the vast majority of them don't view him as some gauzy figure with a lot of swagger. I mean,
Bail is literally bailing out of jail, so you're free to do whatever. Bailing is you posting up collateral so that you don't have to be in jail until your trial. That's what bail is, assuming the judge allows you to even post bail. That's all bail is. It doesn't get you out of jail free. It doesn't get you out of prison. It doesn't let you escape accountability.
Very different now.
Negative. He has negative approval.
It's very different to 2016. I can tell you, it has definitely changed. I don't agree with that reading of it. I've spoken to a few senior politicians in various countries, and they've learned.
You don't support the CEO killer, right? Why not start a bail fund for him? You don't have to support someone to start a bail fund. Why would I start I don't know if I would ever start a bail fund for anybody. What a fucking retarded question. If people want to start a bail fund for him also, I think it's cringe because people aren't trying to bail him out because they think that he's innocent. They're trying to bail him out because they think that killing CEOs is based. But also, if he posts bail and the judge grants it, then it's on bail, whatever. It's part of our legal system. You want to post bail until you stand trial, whatever, that's part of our system.
And to deal with Trump and accept what he is, good, bad, and ugly. And there is a respect for the leadership that he shows. I mean, if you try and think about Kamala Harris and the kind of leadership she exuded, there's just no comparison. You look at Biden. Biden can't even stay awake.
This is bizarre analysis. But Piers, this is bizarre analysis. This is what you think about Kamala Harris and conversations that you've had with like 2 or 3 people. This doesn't reflect the vast majority of the world. And all of the actual data that we have from the rest of the world in terms of their views on Donald Trump shows the exact opposite.
Okay, let me bring in Andrew on that. I think America has its swagger back. Now, Trump has to deliver. And he knows that. I spoke to him last week, and he knows the challenge ahead of him. But he also knows he's got a chance to really reset his legacy and become a transformative and potentially great president. I think he's got a great chance to do that. It'll be down to him and his team. But I do think that. But I do just think when I watched him in Notre Dame,
reset his legacy. Does that mean his legacy right now is really bad, or?
I was like, no, he's back and he's swaggering, and America looks like it's got someone in charge who actually does want to make America great again, and people are feeling it.
Yeah, well, I mean, just listen to the analysis from the lib on the panel. He says immediately, well, yeah, how could he come up with such an analysis based on only talking to 2 or 3 people when the whole world hates this guy? Like, he's talked to the whole world, right?
There's literally polling data from how the world viewed Trump in America. I'm pretty sure like every country but like 2 had a pretty negative view of him, and the United States under Trump's rule. But okay.
Suddenly, Piers Morgan's anecdotal evidence isn't good, but his is. He's talked to nobody.
It's not my anecdotal.
Hang on, man. Hang on. It's not your turn. It's not your turn, Lib. Calm down, Lib. So anyway, listen. It's very, very clear to me. Stop.
I don't know how you think.
Let me get it out. Can I get it out? Before you start?
Go ahead. Hear yourself talk. Go ahead.
So anyway, I'm trying to.
This is in 2020. How people around the world see the U.S. and Donald Trump in 10 charts. This is views of the United States. Generally, people have a favorable view, although barely. Nice. Confidence in U.S. President Trump was down 50 points from Obama. It came up to 31 points in 2019. Many countries, younger people view the U.S. more favorably. The UK had more favorable views of Donald Trump. Almost like he was tied to the Brexit stuff. Or the same sentiment was. But even that was 32%. Trump received the most negative marks among 5 world leaders. His major foreign policies are unpopular globally. I don't know what this idea that everybody loves Trump. It's literally just like you just say whatever. That's it. I just keep that in mind. Always remember that. You just say whatever. It's always memes. You just say whatever the fuck. It's all theater. It's all a meme. It's all theater. It's all a meme.
Still talking. So anyway, the point is like, no, of course, there's a lot of swagger to Donald Trump. The American people know that. That's why they overwhelmingly voted for the guy. That's why he got the popular vote. That's why he's winning across the board. People. I
love how important the popular vote is now. Remember what I said before, is that things that didn't matter before, Republicans will always cite them when they're in their favor. That's why I said, like, coming into Donald Trump's presidency. So before, Republicans would say things like, oh, GDP and the markets don't represent the economy. Wait for it over the next 4 years as the economy is rebounding and will continue to rebound, right? As the GDP gets higher, as the markets climb higher, all of a sudden, all these people that said that GDP and the S&P 500, that these indexes don't matter, now they're going to be citing them like crazy. And you hear it here, right? Remember, Republicans would always say popular vote doesn't matter. Who cares what people in California think? That's not how our country works. But now, all of a sudden, now the popular vote, we got to bring it up every single time, you know?
Voted for the guy. That's why he got the popular vote. That's why he's winning across the board. People overwhelmingly across the globe do actually love this guy. They like watching him.
Says who? Where?
They like listening to him talk. They like hearing his speeches. They enjoy this guy. When you say America's got a swagger back, that's exactly right. Donald Trump represents the don't F with us, America first policy that America has been known in the past for, and that we all...
I guess it's all memes. It's all memes. It's even... I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just pointing out the memes. Listen to what he's saying. Everybody around the world loves Donald Trump because Donald Trump has an FU America first policy. How does that even make sense? Wouldn't everybody around the world hate Donald Trump? And shouldn't that be good? Shouldn't you want them to hate Donald Trump because he has an America First policy? Like, these two things don't even make sense together. But it's just like, we're emoting here. All of this is like emotivism. You're just saying things that are expressing feelings about how much you love a person. That's it.
All wanted back.
Julie, I mean, look, I know you've been quite critical of the way the Democrats have conducted their politics this year, but the Democrats desperately need somebody that can have the same effect, galvanizing, energizing effect and unifying effect on the party that Trump had with the Republicans, given the scale of his win. I mean, it's an utter repudiation of so many things that Democrats thought they had the lead in, and you can't deny it. I mean, the scale of the win is what it is.
Well, let's not go crazy. The scale of his win was actually smaller than Joe Biden's.
Well, hang on, he won the popular vote. If I said he'd win the popular vote, if I said 6 months ago,
also for all you guys that were mad at me making a big deal about the narrative about his assassination and how quickly he stood up. This is why I fight on these little points, is because Republicans always build a million of these little points up to try to present a broader story. And whenever you try to fight them on any of the little ones, they know how important the little ones are. They won't give them up. They fight on them. But you guys think it's important to just like, oh, well, who cares if he stood up in 2 minutes or if he stood up instantaneously and jumped to his feet and, started screaming the Pledge of Allegiance and say, I dare you to shoot me. Like, who cares? Does it really make the big difference? Right? This is a major talking point for them. It's very important in their mind that Trump overwhelmingly won the election. If you push on that at all, they're like, well, he didn't.
6 months ago, Trump, if I had said to you 6 months ago, Trump will win the popular vote, you'd have laughed in my face.
It's non-responsive, though. It doesn't, whether or not he wins the popular vote has nothing to do with the claim that he won like overwhelmingly.
He won the popular vote, the Electoral College, the White House, the Senate, and the House of Representatives.
I would have said,
he won all 5. I mean, if you can't call that a massive win, what is it?
No, I'm not suggesting that Democrats did not royally.
Like, you should just ask, like, did Donald Trump win more or less than 50% of the American public's vote, right? I don't even know if they would answer that question.
Well, can I speak, or do you want to keep interrupting, Flat Earther? Listen, here's the way I look at it. Democrats screwed up. Democrats don't know how to communicate. I've been banging the drum on this since 2015, if not earlier, since Trump came down the escalator. He's a master communicator to his base, and Democrats don't know how to speak to normal people.
No, it's not that Trump is a master communicator. It's that Donald Trump communicates well to people with 85 IQ, like these two are right now. That's the issue. That's why you're being asked to defend the intricacies of the fucking criminal justice system, and these two are able to contradict themselves every single time they open their mouths, and the impression is that you're losing. That's the issue.
We always speak and we lecture like we're from the podium at Harvard Law School. So you won't get an argument from me. I will tell you that whether it's Macron or anybody in your government, Piers, or Vladimir Putin or anybody else, they have psychological profiles on Donald Trump, like we do on all other world leaders as well. And they understand exactly how to get what they want out of Donald Trump. And they know that flattery will get you everywhere with Donald Trump. All will be forgiven if you flatter him. Macron knows that well. That's why he engages the way he engages with him. That's why Putin engages the way he engages with him. That's why half of the people, like his own vice president, who thought he was basically the second coming of Adolf Hitler, and I'm not paraphrasing here, now know that if they bend the knee and if they flatter him, that all will be forgiven, and he will listen to them, and he will take them into his confidence. And if you're Macron, you're in a country that is very dependent on America's NATO umbrella, if you're in a country that is trying to hold the EU together, if you're trying to hold a Western alliance together against an encroaching, newly aggressive Vladimir Putin, or maybe not so newly aggressive, you understand that the way to Trump's heart is to invite him to Notre Dame, to give him a seat pretty much next to Prince William or wherever he was sitting, and to make him the star of the show, because that is what Trump wants to do and wants to be. So this is not a surprise to me. It's a smart move by Macron to do that. It's a smart move by Xi to do that in China. And look, he all of a sudden went from threatening to nuke North Korea to becoming best friends with the North Koreans because the leader of North Korea decided to flatter him.
And what did North Korea, okay, but what did North Korea, China, or Russia do on Trump's watch in his first 4 years?
Well, North Korea continued to test their expansive ballistic missiles program. Russia continued to expand its war in the Donbass and tighten its grip on Crimea. And China, I don't know what, I'm sure China did something, I don't know. Continue to do their shit with the Uyghurs, I don't know. What do you think they did, Pierce? What did they scale back on?
What did North Korea?
They don't have the foreign policy. No, it's okay. You can't know everything. You have to know every single conspiracy. It's so easy on the Piers and Republican side because you just basically make up like whatever the fuck you want. You can just say whatever you want. You can just say whatever the fuck you want. Wait, when did the whole Hong Kong shit and everything happen? Was that under Biden or was that under Trump? I don't even remember. The COVID fucked my mind. Was the Hong Kong stuff under Trump? Okay, well then that's all three. That's all three theaters that he's brought up. Oh, was it under Obama? Wait, Wicked Supreme said Obama 2014. I thought there was something else around COVID time that happened in Hong Kong, but I don't remember. I didn't follow close enough.
Trump's watch in his first 4 years.
What did North Korea? What did they do on Trump's watch?
What did they do?
Are you suggesting? Are you suggesting?
She doesn't have the answer. Now she's doing rhetoric. But also, again, notice how he's pushing for specifics here. It's only ever specifics on the liberal side. How did the Hong Kong stuff end? Didn't it end poorly for the Hong Kongians? I don't know if that's a real. I don't remember. I didn't follow this with any detail at all.
Well, they didn't need to do anything because,
I'm just saying, you're saying his technique of actually having civil relations with these people is wrong.
It didn't work in any of these theaters. It didn't work anywhere. Oh, Russia expanded the war in Ukraine. Iran fucking bombed Saudi Arabia. Assad gassed his fucking citizens. The Palestinians fucking broke through the wall in the Gaza Strip. North Korea continued. Tillerson and Pence, I'm pretty sure, are both not on record, off record, like cursing out Trump for the North Korea negotiations. It's just failure after failure after failure. Donald Trump's foreign policy was a failure. There is no positive, like it was a failed foreign policy. The only win you could maybe try to carve out would be the Abraham Accords, and that's questionable at best.
North Korea developed.
Where's the evidence it didn't work?
North Korea continued to develop missiles. China continued to develop its military for potential attack on Taiwan.
Okay.
And
all under Biden.
Okay.
Wait. Oh, wait. So then you're saying that Trump's foreign policy was just as good as Biden, right? Again, look at you can live in so many different worlds. It's got to be so freeing. Like I feel like when you become a Republican debater, it's this moment. No, it's not even the spoon thing. It's.
How did I beat you?
You're too fast.
Do you believe that my being stronger or faster has anything to do with my muscles in this place? You think that's air you're breathing now?
True. You know what? It works, actually. But it's like when you're a conservative, you can just say or do or throw out literally anything at all points in time, right? Like, why would you say that this happened under Biden too, when the whole point is that Trump is supposed to be so much better than Biden? Like, it doesn't even make sense. Yeah.
But that's the point, isn't it? They've all carried on doing exactly the same under Biden, who has the complete opposite way and says they're all enemies. Let me bring in Vinny.
But you're suggesting.
Go on.
Go on, Julie.
Yeah. Piers.
Oh, now more from this dipshit who doesn't know anything about anything. These guys are all just, they don't know anything about anything. Like, they don't, like, none of these guys know any domestic or foreign policy. None of these guys know any foundational, like, anything. It's all good, though. All right, I'm sorry. It's a theater. It's a play. Okay. It's just a meme. It's a meme. All right, it's all memes.
Oh, you're suggesting that he's
let Julie finish her point. I don't want to cut you off.
You're suggesting that if he doesn't pull out of NATO,
do you really think knowing something makes you qualified to speak about it? True.
as he's said he
was never going to pull out of NATO.
You're suggesting if he doesn't
he was never going to put. It's another Democrat load of bullshit.
Like, this is another thing, right? Hold on. Did he just say he was never going to pull out of NATO? Wait. If we know for a fact that he was never going to pull out of NATO, if you know for a fact he's never going to do the 1,000% tariffs, if you know for a fact he's never going to do these things, then how can he negotiate with them? If everybody knows that you're never going to do these things, then how are they negotiating tactics? You understand that that's self-defeating, right? These are contradictory positions.
Trump was never going to pull out of NATO.
Excuse me,
what he said was if NATO
if they don't pay their fair share, he will pull out of
I've
NATO.
interviewed him and talked to him privately about it. All he's ever said about NATO is he thinks the countries should pay their dues. And if they don't, why should America keep bailing them out?
What do you mean bailing them out? From what? What does he think the NATO dues are? From my understanding, I haven't dug into it. My understanding is the only thing NATO calls is that a certain percentage of your GDP goes towards your military funding. That's it. I don't think it's not like paid to America for defense. You don't like pay like protection services, but
given America pays the lion's share of the cost. And guess what?
For our military. We pay for our military. We pay for our military.
They're all paying their dues now.
What's going to happen?
They're all paying their dues.
What's going to happen? What is going to happen when he stops giving aid to Ukraine?
Although I will say, it's not even necessarily bad to pressure the NATO countries, though, to fund their militaries more. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that. I think it's fine. But the problem is Trump's overall message on NATO, and then that's like being a part, like that part of it is just another,
You think Russia will do under Donald Trump?
I would not make any assumptions about what Trump is going to do to try and resolve the UK and Russia war.
Oh, cool. Wow, the UK and Russia war? UK or Ukraine? Got him.
Make any assumptions about what Trump is going to do to try and resolve the UK and Russia war. I talked to him last week about this, and I would not make any assumptions at all. People who think he's going to give Putin everything he wants are living in cloud cuckoo land, I can tell you. But let's wait and see. I always think with Trump, much better to judge him on his actions than what he says. Vinny.
Or what you think he's going to do.
I think it's very, very difficult. Honestly, Andrew, I think it's an incredibly difficult thing to resolve. But
how can you even support a guy then if you don't even know what he's going to do? Like, what are you actually voting for? The face paint?
Do not think he's going to make one of the first things he does as president again to give Vladimir Putin a massive win. I just don't think it's going to happen. So how he navigates a settlement where that doesn't look like it's the story.
But why? But we have history on this. Didn't Donald Trump give the Taliban a massive win in Afghanistan? Isn't that explicitly what he negotiated? A full U.S. surrender and retreat? So why would we assume that he wouldn't do the same elsewhere? What's your basis for comparison?
Is going to be complicated, but I'm sure Trump is not going to want a Russian dictator to be throwing his hands up going, victory. I just don't see it. Vinny, let me end with you here.
Piers, here's my thing. The delusion of these leftists that Donald Trump, I'm going back to the beginning.
Oh boy, here comes more vague, unsubstantiated claims that's just alluding to broad feelings and vibes. Oh boy, this guy.
Of your question, isn't popular. Have you, the freaking Trump dance is all over the world. Yeah. Athletes all over, soccer players, football players. The guy is the most popular guy on the planet, hands down, period. And I'm telling you, Julie, I respect you, but you guys, I'm telling you right now, you guys have to start changing your tune. This fear porn of Donald Trump, you're losing. CNN is losing. MSNBC, Joyless Reed, they're done. If you guys don't start changing your freaking tune, you're going to be out of work. America has spoken. They want a freaking leader that goes to France and almost rips off Macron's arm. That's who we are. We're tough. Joe Biden would have been taking a nap. We need strength. We need freaking somebody that has the balls to go talk shit. Vinny, nobody's believing your fear porn.
Vinny, the only sadness for me is that so far you have not been appointed the White House press secretary, because watching you at the podium every day would be one of the greatest things that I would ever watch.
It's like Piers, a Facebook comment section.
And I would do it, and I would mention your name. I would mention your name every single time I was there, Piers.
Thank you, Vinny. Another reason that you should get the job. Thank you to my panel. I appreciate it. These debates will run and run, but thank you very much for joining me. Thank you very much. Well, joining me now for a quick update on a big development concerning Diddy and Jay-Z is